Welcome to the weekend edition of the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson, and hello, Sean Aylmer.
Hello, Michael.
Sean, on weekdays, it's all about the Fast 5, the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. On the weekend, we still keep it to 5 minutes, obviously, but we're going to pick out the biggest business story of the week, the sleeper story, one that's flying under the radar, most remarkable story, and our favourite story. Let's jump straight into the biggest business story. You go first on this one, Sean.
Okay, 3 big issues this week, which we're going to fight an election about in about 4 or 5 months' time. First one is the Albanese government planning to force social media companies to pay for journalism. If the big social media groups like Meta, etc., don't pay for it, they're going to get whacked with a bill from the tax office. Second one's childcare. Prime Minister is trying to make access to childcare easier, dropping the activity test. He's talking about a big $1 billion fund to expand the number of childcare facilities available, also a flat fee for childcare. Peter Dutton is against some of these ideas. This is a big one because access to education for children under 5 absolutely helps their futures. So there'll be a big fight on that one. The other one is energy. The coalition's nuclear power plant will cost $263 billion less than Labor's renewable rollout between now and 2050, according to Frontier Economics, which has been employed by the coalition. Now, under the coalition's model, 7 nuclear power plants, renewable energy still dominant by 2050, but we'll also have plenty of nuclear power in that. Under the government's policy by 2050, we will end up with 94% of generation in renewables. 3 really big issues that came to the fore this week, Michael.
Yeah, massive week, and particularly in politics. There's also a bit of economic news around this week. Sean, we obviously had the Reserve Bank Board meet early in the week, and they left interest rates on hold, but they did open the door to maybe considering rate cuts in the future. Then, though, later in the week, we got the jobless figures, the unemployment figures, which showed that the unemployment rate fell to 3.9% when everyone was kind of expecting it to keep climbing a bit higher, which unfortunately has slammed that door shut, the interest rate cut door shut for a little bit longer, unfortunately, Sean. So big week for the economy as well.
What about the most remarkable story from you, Michael?
Sean, most remarkable story, I think, is actually, it is all about Elon Musk. The surging wealth and power, I suppose, as well of Elon Musk. And it was because of Tesla this week. The share price jumped in one day 6% to be valued at around $1.3 trillion US. Tesla has doubled in value since August. Investors are excited about Elon Musk's relationship with Donald Trump and hopes that Tesla could actually then benefit from the new administration. When you add to that the massive valuation of SpaceX this week, which is Musk's rocket company, Elon Musk is now worth around $400 billion US, the first human in history to be worth over that mark. It is staggering wealth, Sean.
It sure is. There's nothing more remarkable than that, though. I just want to quickly mention a couple of PE firms bought into NFL teams. That's the American football teams, valuing these teams at sort of $7-8 billion. Suddenly we're getting private investors like PE getting into sport. We ended up having the PNG team joining the National Rugby League here in Australia. We've got fight over Foxtel, who's going to buy that. Big money coming into sport. I think that's quite remarkable too.
Yeah, indeed. Sleeper story, one flying under the radar a bit. Have you picked one out for us?
Look, anti-wokeism's on the rise. There's been a couple of incidents this week from different spheres that demonstrate its impact, and I don't think it's that good. In the US, an anti-woke investment fund has been established, Azoria Partners. Basically, it will only invest in companies that do not have things like diversity, equity and inclusion in their hiring processes. Back home, opposition leader Peter Dutton said if elected, he wouldn't stand in front of the Australian and Indigenous flags when giving a briefing, as Prime Minister Anthony Albanese does. Mr Dutton's argument is that we want one unifying flag for all Australians. He also suggested the Indigenous flag shouldn't fly above the Harbour Bridge. Investors and politicians are definitely emboldened by the rise of Donald Trump to start eating away at many of the hard-won gains by minorities, vilified people, disadvantaged groups. Wokeism isn't about favouring some cohorts. It's just about ensuring they're at least heard. Anti-wokeism does the opposite. I think it's a worry.
Yeah, indeed. It certainly is a sleeper story, Sean. What was your favourite story? Did you have a favourite this week?
Oh, look, I just loved those Google details, or the details about what people are Googling as in the meanings of the words demure, solfege, vox, monticello, sobriquet. I only knew 2 of the 5 words. They're the 5 most asked, meanings of. Also the how-tos, how to mew, M-E-W. That was in there. I have no idea how to mew. Anyway, I love this time of year when Google comes and tells us what people are searching, Michael.
Yeah, indeed. Look, a quick favourite story from me was Colgate Palmolive, which is obviously a huge company, doing something with technology that we haven't seen before. They're building digital twins that are programmed to simulate real-life consumers, trying to speed up the process of developing new products. But part of that is getting the feedback about what people like, etc., using digital replicas of people in order to do that. I think it's innovative. Also, I think it's a little bit scary as well, Sean.
Totally.
All right, there we go. 5 minutes and pretty much everything you need to know in the world of business. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
We'll be back on Monday morning with the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Don't forget to hit follow and join us online on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook and X. I'm Michael Thompson, and this is the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed.